What about a photorealistic pornographic drawing of a real child?
Oh God, that would be disgusting. But well, if artist wants to draw it, I'm not gonna stop him unless it will be so inappropriate that nobody would want to watch it.
Okay, but would you not judge someone who is aroused by that? How would you feel about an individual into that?
I'm not really a judging person.
Sounds like you were judging me.
Well, yeah, you. Yeah,
so you'll
yeah,
judge someone's
I'm
commentary, but not their interest in cartoons of children and how they get aroused by that, even if hypothetically it were photorealistic.
So what's the harm in fiction?
Dude, I'm hearing rumors that harmful is dodging. Harmful raped. Harmful status raped. Chud status raped. Oh, he didn't speak to him, okay. Is it because he couldn't figure out Discord? Bro, he needs to add me. Hello?
Hello, Chad.
How's it going?
Nice. Keep in mind, I have like 4 or 5 hours of talk I can sacrifice because later I need to go to the job.
Okay, no worries. I don't think we'll be speaking for that long. I need to go in about an hour or so, okay?
Someone...
Have you got, it doesn't matter if you don't. Have you got a cam? Have you got a camera or can you hop on camera or not?
Yeah, I watched your stream. Give me a minute. It's in the Discord is. Give me a minute.
No rush. It's all good. What are we? Oh.
Okay. And I will be.
Hey, there we go. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, there's a bit of a delay. I don't know if.
I'm from Poland.
You're from Poland. Okay.
Hello. It's me, Mikołaj Nieprawicz. That's my artistic pseudonym. I'm also known as Nautil Niemy on YouTube channel, and I sometimes write creepypastas for Polish audience into multiple channels on Polish YouTube sites. So
okay, I'm very interested to get some more of your perspective on this. I guess the best place to start is, you did get something just plain wrong, and that's that Harmful Opinions didn't make videos about Vosh, right?
Yeah, probably, because I just gathered very few intel on those matters, and probably those videos are not correctly researched.
I see, okay. So your research process is leaves a bit to be desired. Let's put it that way.
Well, I just talk on my channel about what I want and what I think is right, but
okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I appreciate you got quite a small channel, so it's.
Don't worry, man. I have like, let's say 7 hours of free time right now to spare.
Okay. We probably won't need that long, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, look. Okay, there's probably, look, at the end of the day, I do think that some people, have got some sort of takes about lolly and I generally speaking have got quite a negative view of it. I understand people have got different views. But the thing for me, though, is if you look at an image that is a drawing of a child and you're sexually aroused by that, do you not think that speaks to some potential sexual interest you may have in children?
Well, it might speak to sexual interest, but as long as you don't harm a child or consume like the porn, which is like camera feed and you see the child gets raped, you don't cross the line here.
Okay. So I'm not talking about like legal, because the thing is, the reason, obviously, I'm sure you would agree, we would make that sort of behavior illegal is because a child is getting harmed, right?
Yes, precisely.
So we need to prevent that from happening. We do that by making it illegal, right?
Yes.
So in my position, I'm not saying that drawing like a random image of a child is in and of itself harming a child, but I'm saying that you as the consumer of that
it can fuel the desire.
Yeah.
Say.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I think. Yeah.
what you are getting at, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but keep in mind that from my point of view, I just am what in Poland is called mangoziew. Mangoziew is basically a weebu. A weebu is like an otaku in Japan, or a nerd, basically, who is into manga and anime.
Okay.
So mangoziew means a manga reader who is screwed in the head, basically, to translate this word freely. So
Okay.
yeah.
Because here's the thing. Maybe it's a language issue, okay? But some of the things you were saying, you sounded a bit like what I would call a nonce. A bit like a pedo, right?
Like a retard.
No, not a retard. Like, you said some pretty stuff, and I was like, God, is this guy like jerking it to Lolly himself? Is he like a kind of, you know?
Well, to tell you the truth, Chud Logic, I appreciate beauty in lollies, but frankly, as long as they are drawn and the piece of paper, and I have like no problem with that.
Sorry. Just to be clear, when you say you appreciate the beauty of lollies, what does that mean exactly?
Well, the tiny proportions of the body and the slim silhouette, let's say, and but I mostly appreciate a good writing of character. If the character is written in the interesting way, I'm more into it. I'm just like a self-proclaimed writer by heart. So
okay, and this is actually quite interesting. So when you're looking at like a lolly character, what are you looking for in terms of writing? What would it like, kind of attract you to that?
Okay. So let's ask several questions. What is the background of this character? What is a desire of this character or motivation in the story? What is the conflict for this character, and how this character could evolve into something more when it already is at the beginning of the story? What's interesting to me.
Okay, because when you say you like the kind of the look and the silhouette of a lolly character, I just wonder if there's any themes that would play on sort of a pedophilic desire that you might like about a lolly character.
God, man. Let's say that all weeboos are a little bit, screwed in some way to get aroused by lolly, let's say. But as long as this is fiction, there is no harm in that. Granted, the desire could be fueled to do something irresponsible and against the law, but as long as you keep yourself in check, then you are not like basically a full-fledged pedophile, let's say.
Okay. By the way, I just got one more thing I just want to inquire about that I'm interested in. Harmful wants to join as well, if that's okay with you.
Come on, get him in.
Okay, I'll get him in now. Right, give me a second, I'll add him. Okay, dude, you're getting both. You're laughing, right? Sorry, one sec. I just need to find him here. Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong chap. Here we go. Right, I'm gonna add him now. Here we go. Right, it's gonna create a new thing, so just accept the call. Okay, now look, obviously I think, me and Harmful probably agree on most stuff, and it's kind of you on the other side, so I don't want to turn this into a dog pile, okay? So I'll chip in where necessary, but I want to give you a shot to kind of hash it out as necessary, so... I mean...
So, hello, Harmful Opinions. I did a video about you not that long ago.
Oh, I can't hear you, Harmful.
I don't hear his voice. He's talking, but I don't hear his voice.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully Harmful can fix that. I don't know what's going on there. The thing I wanted to ask you is, do you not see an issue or a concern, say, if it's not a completely fictionalized character, but it is like a cartoon or a drawing based on a real person? Do you not think that's a concern?
Well, it's a controversial. It can be controversial, and if you want to draw a child which exists in real life, so to say, you should ask a permission. In Poland, there is a law that no one can film or make a video of you in public unless you are not you agree to it. So you need to have a permission from a normal citizen to let him film you. And
So for you, that's a privacy issue.
yeah, and
That's it?
Well, Chad, how can I else say it? The art should not be constrained. That's what I think. Should be. The art shouldn't be constrained, but there are some aspects of how far an art can go to say make it stop. This is too much. Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
mean like if it's photorealistic or something?
Well, as long as it's like, even if it's photorealistic and you put like your skill into it, and there is no and this is a fictional character, or even though drawn in realistic way, I don't see harm in that art.
What about a photorealistic pornographic drawing of a real child?
Oh God, that would be disgusting. But well, if artist wants to draw it, I'm not gonna stop him unless it will be so inappropriate that nobody would want to watch it.
Okay, but would you not judge someone who is aroused by that? How would you feel about an individual into that?
I'm not really a judging person.
Sounds like you were judging me.
Well, yeah, you. Yeah,
So you'll
yeah,
judge
but
someone's
I'm
commentary, but not their interest in cartoons of children and how they get aroused by that, even if hypothetically it were photorealistic.
So what's the harm in fiction? How can fiction harmful opinion?
I don't care about the harm to the fiction. I think if you're into that shit, you're a freak.
Well, that's your point of view.
Potentially
Not
even dangerous.
necessarily
If you are
everyone.
into photorealistic depictions of children that, to the naked eye, look
well,
like
I'm
child
not.
pornography,
Well, I'm
your
not,
desires
but
are clearly...
But I like my manga.
I'm not saying you are. It seemed like you wanted to have some sort of philosophical or ethical discourse.
I didn't expect it to this video to get any attention aside from 1 or 2 views.
Hey, you put it out to the world. Aren't you happy? Wouldn't you want it to?
Well, maybe.
And you like discussing stuff like that, right? I've seen, like, even 3 years ago, you were talking about Shadman.
Yeah.
It's a topic you seem very interested in.
Well, not interested in like some major sense, but Shadman is an artist. He does what he does, and this is an artist. He shouldn't be constrained from my point of view. And
Okay.
if he draws something disgusting, the people have right to be repulsed by it, but the art should still exist.
Okay, I have to tell you, watching your video, a thought came to mind. You sort of laid out a few things, and one of them was the idea of, if a kid isn't getting hurt, right, then you're not too worried about it. And you're saying now you don't want to be too judgmental. And you gave the example of if it's a cartoon, kid's not getting hurt. But if it's a real image of a child being abused, then that's bad. The image itself is bad.
Well,
What about?
Well, the implications of who made it an image and what it and when it took place reveal it's bad, because that is mostly against the law. Because if you see a broadcast of the camera and some underage kid is raped in the ass, let's say, then what are you currently doing? You are supporting the content creator of this video, and this is disgusting.
Yeah, that's very bad, and the image itself, the video itself existing is a severe violation of the privacy of a victim, and so on and so forth. What I'm interested in is there can be pictures of children that there are no problems with, that are not pornographic. I'm talking literally like your school photo of you just smiling, you know, to put in a photo frame in your house for your parents to see and remember. Oh, nice. There's nothing wrong inherently with those images. What do you think of someone who's aroused by an image like that and jerks off to it?
Well, if he wants to jerk off to my picture when I was a child and I'm currently 30 years old, then fuck it, I don't care.
You don't feel anything about that person, and I'm not talking about you caring.
I don't feel
regarding you,
repulsed by it. I don't feel well. To tell you the truth, the man who would jack off to my picture.
Not necessarily yours, just of a child. Non-pornographic. Non-pornographic images of children, they're into that.
Okay.
So the child hasn't been abused in the production of the image.
That's in my opinion a full-fledged pedophile, and it won't take long to make him commit a real crime. But as long as he doesn't go against the law and he is jacking off to pictures of childs which were not harmed but during taking a picture, this is his fucked up deal, not mine. And frankly, I would be disgusted. I would be repulsed, but I don't know if I should be involved in this sick man fantasy.
What if it's made public? You become aware of it, or you seem fixated a bit on legality. Do you think it's right, for instance, to discriminate against someone in terms of employment? If they came out and said they jerk off to these pictures that are not child pornography, then make it known that they jerk off to just regular pictures of kids. Is it okay to discriminate against them in certain employment, for instance?
Okay, let's say that if you are a pedophile and you didn't commit yet crime, if that information is revealed, then you are fucked up. No, not fucked up, but fucked over. And the reason being is that people will be repulsed by you, and rightly so. So for someone like that to exist in society, when the information gets out,
but how do I make money
very,
off depressed people?
You know, his life will be short. The light will be extinguished, let's say.
Do you think that's right?
Well, to tell you the truth,
or make it less extreme. Like, let's say someone applies to work at a daycare and it comes out they jerk off to images of kids, not abuse images, just like school photos and stuff. Is it right to deny them that employment?
Probably yes.
What if someone is open about they like drawn images that are very, very realistic of kids, and they get denied employment to, let's say, a daycare or babysitting or something? Is that good or bad? Or you don't care?
Not really.
Wait, not really what?
Well, to tell you the truth, we need to, let's say, back out and see what for you constitute as justice and law. Because keep in mind that law is primarily exists to make order in society and exact this order in society. But there are so many examples of what you said, like examples of these gray areas, let's say. And you know, if I was a father and I saw like a janitor who keeps a photo of my child and even worse, jack off to it, I would fucking smack him and beat him to a pulp. That would be my reaction, in all honesty.
Oh, 100%. What if it's not connected specifically to your kid? What if there's a janitor at the school who is really into like cartoons that are very clearly of you know, sexualized kids, and it comes out that he's into?
Well, I don't care. It's not my business.
You don't think there's any safeguarding implication? Like, would it be wrong? Like, if he got fired, would that be an injustice?
To tell you the truth, the justice is simple. The justice concept, for me at least, exists only to to like facilitate a law. Let's say that everything what we know, the morals, the morality of men, the concept of justice is made up by people for people, and those concepts are pretty good if you want to have a healthy society. But remember, in the ancient times the laws were much more brutal, like Hammurabi law, for example.
You're thinking Lex Talionis.
Eye for an eye, for example. And the more we progress in like society, the more we like living by those concepts, like being just, being right, being moral, and so on and so forth. But in all honesty, we are just a bunch of wild animals, let's say. Just look out at Black Fridays in America. We are just animals. We are just dumb monkeys. In all honesty, I think we would take any reason to fight each other because we are partially like intelligent and let's say self-aware, but there is like more primitive side to us, like that of an animal.
Sorry, listen, I'm trying to not interject too much and let you two go at it, right? But, you know, to be very fair here, I'm not really hearing an answer to Harmful Opinions' question. Like, he just asked, do you think it would be acceptable to fire someone that consumed lolicon from a school if it was revealed? And you've gone on this long rambling answer. Like, what is going on? Shouldn't it be simple?
Yeah, would it be, in your eyes, unjust for that person to be fired? Or if you have a problem with the term just, would you be upset by it or have a problem with it, personally?
Well, if someone is reading a manga about lollies, I don't care. It doesn't harm anybody, and that's it.
So you would...
And yet, you suggested earlier that it could have some implication regarding their desires, though.
Well, it could, but might as well could not, because...
So just risk it.
Give me a minute. It all depends how depraved a man is and how his desire would evolve from reading manga to some much more fucked up shit, let's say. It all depends on the human and his nature. If he wants to just read a manga and enjoy the story with lollies or not, what if he wants to go one step further, but the choice is up to him.
What if specifically this guy's super into all this hentai that's like janitor fucks lowly at his school, teacher fucks lowly at his school, and it's all like to do with people in positions of influence or authority at the school, and he is a teacher?
Well, that would be a little fucked up. to have a school when majority of the heads in the, let's say, on the stanowiska, the staff in this could be like, you know, into that shit. That would be highly unlikely and highly uncommon.
But if there was, say, a teacher who came out or was found out to be really into that stuff,
well,
and they got fired, would you be cool with them being fired, just as a safeguarding measure?
It won't change the desire of the man, mind you. It won't change, and in fact, it could create, like, you know, not only a resentment, but, you know, the even further need, in my opinion, because let's see what happens.
So better to leave them in a position of authority over children.
No. To my understanding, let's see how this is portrayed by your death penalty in USA. Notice that crime in USA doesn't really went nosedive when the death penalty was implemented. If anything, the criminals are more like determined, let's say, to to commit a crime, and they disregard their life. So if there was a school full of people, teachers and scholars which will be into that shit, that would be at least concerning. At least. And what to do about it, it would depend on how this desire would evolve into something worse. Because if it gets out of control and evolve in something worse, have a big problem of child abuse.
Right, okay, right. I'm trying not to jump in too much, but this is fucking crazy. So, you're saying that there's a chance it could, increase out of control and essentially cause problems, right? Now, we've got a situation, this guy's at a school, and him, having these desires further could mean he molests a child or something like that, okay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, surely, out of an abundance of caution, you would say, get rid of the guy out of the school just to be on the safe side. That would surely be the answer you'd give to that, no?
Yes, but remember that doesn't fix the problem in this guy.
Well, no, we're not trying to fix the problem. We're trying to be, considerate about keeping kids safe, right?
We need to, let's say, describe what the core of the problem is. And
Well, the core of this problem is this guy may want to fuck kids.
yeah, okay. So if he wants to fuck kids, well, shame on him. Shame on him.
So you do think pedophilia is bad, to be clear? Child abuse is bad, right?
course.
Excellent.
Of course.
I mean, I think I'm going to know what Harmful Abilities is going. I'll throw it back over to him in a sec. But, it just seems to me like, you are seeing here how even if they're fictionalized drawings, there are, of course, signs from looking at it that should potentially lead to real-life consequence if they're around children. So this narrative that it's, sure, it doesn't harm a kid to draw an image, but kids could potentially come to harm if this stuff is left kind of unchecked or unaddressed.
Yes.
In other words, the consideration of the material itself is separate from the consideration of the observer.
Okay, but I must say that it all depends on the human specimen, and the manga is not forbidden and should not be forbidden, and it all depends on the human who wants to take this one step further, and this is a problem. The desire to be more depraved.
Yeah, I guess I'm quite interested, sorry, just to throw it over to Harmful, actually, to make it fair, okay? How do you respond to that concept or that idea of the free speech and, what should be kind of allowed broadly in your perspective?
Okay.
So Harmful Opinions, what do you think?
He's asking me. I've said this before. The material itself, when it's drawn, I find it very hard to justify making something someone could create with a pencil and a piece of paper in their room alone illegal to produce or own when it's just an image. If you want a sort of outside take, if you want me to do what our Polish friend has suggested, maybe it's valuable to have this stuff available so that it can function as a red flag and a sign if someone's into it. What do you think about that? It's better to know.
Well, if someone buys, let's say, an erotic manga, and let's say that this activity is registered by some invigilation system, which would be present not that long ago in Poland before 1989. That's a fun fact history. Then what are you currently doing to this man? This man could lose his job, okay, but would that prevent him to go even step further? If
Depends on the job.
To my understanding, he will be even more desperate. You're putting a pin on the man who did not yet commit a crime, and you make him desperate, and you will cause not only harm to him, but it can be also the starting point of evolving his depravity, because right now he.
Can I just get clear on this idea? So let's take the hypothetical of there's someone in a position of authority over vulnerable people, so children. There's a teacher. He's consuming a bunch of fictional material, so no child was harmed in the production of the material, but that involves fantasies about having sex with children. You're suggesting that should he be fired as a matter of safeguarding, he might find that, oh, my life's over, so what does it matter now? I might as well go out and rape a kid.
Yes, that could be the case.
So it's safer to leave someone in a position of authority over children.
As long as he himself doesn't go overboard.
But how do you know that the point at which he's gone overboard is the point at which he's already abused the child?
Yeah.
So just wait until that happens.
Okay, harmful opinions. Do policemen prevent suicides or slasher attacks, or they arrive at the scene of the crime when the crime was committed?
They have to come afterwards, because typically there's not going to be a huge sign. Sometimes when there is, they'll try to stop a suicide. But I'm suggesting that we have a sign here in this hypothetical.
Well,
and a sign, an example where we're talking about vulnerable people with an individual having authority over them. So a specific, exceptional circumstance.
Well, the teacher. Well, this is a hard part, generally speaking, because the teacher who is into manga might be
not just into manga. Let's say specifically manga stories that are about adults having sex with children.
Okay. Well, to tell you the truth, I would give a damn unless something happened. And you can
just wait and see.
What?
Just wait and see if something happens.
Yes, because to tell you the truth, the law doesn't resolve every problem in society. You should leave some space for normal citizen to not be restricted by, let's say, restrictions. And if you are let's say putting a pin on the citizens, let's say, then the more restrictions you give, you start to be to lead a country which is in full dictatorship almost. Like the citizen has very little to do. He basically is like with even less right to than previously. So, in my opinion, as long as this teacher does not commit a crime, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, frankly speaking. It only applies when he does want to go overboard and he commits the abuse act. Then he should be taken care of, and that's my statement basically. It's a very difficult statement, because I know what you mean, harmful opinions. You want to prevent any possible option for from manifesting into being a pedophile, but frankly that's not exactly what a law and society is. You cannot forbid everything in fear of in fear of something happening. Shit happen, and as long as society and law exist, this shit will happen. And if you want to prevent every crime, prevent every possible negative outcome in the society, it's almost impossible.
Okay, but hang on a sec. Hang on. Sorry.
Impossible.
But the thing is, it's all about risk and reward. So, for example, a child playing in a park carries a risk with it. They could fall over, hurt themselves, harm themselves, cause an injury, have to go to hospital. But there's lots of positive benefits, socialization, exercise, and so on. Okay. Whereas with your example, if a teacher is jerking off the fucking lolly, the benefit is their own perverse pleasure. And that's it. And maybe this argument about freedom versus the risk of a child potentially getting harmed or hurt if that person is allowed to stay in that position. And I think broadly as a society, we say, well, look, okay, there's some limitation to freedom you could possibly argue, but I think the risk of the child getting hurt overwhelms that, and we should put the child's welfare at the forefront of that conversation. And that's why, in that situation, the teacher would have to go.
Imagine the situation that kid will pull a prank on the teacher, for example, and sneak into his desk, let's say, an erotic magazine or something like that, and then tells his parents. And what's they gonna do with this teacher? They will fire him. He won't be able to take his teacher job. And probably he will be working at warehouses at best.
So sorry, just to clarify, you're saying that a child could plant lolicon material on the teacher?
No. Erotic magazine, let's say. Erotic magazine. Okay. That's all that needs. In that restricted situation when a child, by a stupid prank, will pull something like that on the teacher because he gave or she gave him a bad grade, for example, or make him angry in some way. Just
to be clear, right? I would advocate for a full investigative process to establish the facts of the matter. So I would hope that the school would carry out an investigation and they wouldn't just immediately fire him without any notice. So investigative matters are important in this too.
Yeah, but keep in mind that there is also an aspect of other people knowing about. Let's see what is in Japan. In Japan, for example...
What has Japan got to do with any of this? I feel like you're going off on another tangent. Harmful seems to be okay with that, but I'm not. I'm bored of it. What's Japan? Who cares about Japan, bro? They're all pedos over there, aren't they? Sorry, please, continue. Go on.
Okay, so if you watch in Japan, let's say if you are convicted of murder, even if you didn't do you didn't do this, then the society turns back on you. You cannot get a decent job. You cannot socialize with people. You are becoming over there basically homeless, and that's not by the law, but by the behavior of society over there. Yes.
Okay, but sorry.
That's nice.
So, private opinions. Go on, please. If you've got something to say to that.
Oh, I'm just saying that's nice. Thanks for the story.
This is I don't want to tell this to talk about. It's just look. Obviously, people can be wrongly accused or convicted or whatever of crimes, and that is a problem, and that's a flaw in the investigative process that we should pursue a pathway to improving. We should always try and improve ourselves at investigating crimes, and we've done it for fucking centuries, okay?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So in that instance of this, someone planting it on the teacher, I agree with you that there's a potential risk that someone could be unreasonably fired. I think there should be an investigative process, and that is going to be flawed, and some people may end up losing their jobs unfairly. But that is then as a consequence of actions which are designed primarily to keep kids as safe as possible at school. I think that's a fair trade-off.
Okay.
And consider, you were going off on the whole thing about, it's leading to a dictatorship or whatever. This is a very narrowly defined area, right? People with authority over children. That's why I'd say it's justifiable.
Okay.
Because let's say that person does do something, and then, wait, we saw these red flags the whole time, and we let it get to that point. Is that not wrong?
Well, this is a hard part, harmful opinion, because do you want exact a law which forbid for consuming fictional erotic material, or do you want do you want to do this, or do you want to do something else which will work?
I think a normal person recognizes that as a red flag. I don't think laws necessarily needed.
So, am I to understand that you want to exact a self-proclaimed justice over this man?
I think it's a reasonable cause for safeguarding measures to come into effect for someone who is in the role of a teacher. And I think it's just so clear and obvious. Like, even you recognize that enjoying such material could be an indicator of those sort of appetites. I think in that case, someone with authority over children, you can't be in that position anymore.
Yeah, that would be your opinion. And frankly, I must.
I think
agree
it's the
to
opinion
that.
of people who don't have pieces missing.
Don't give me a minute. I think I thought about it a little bit, and in some aspects, I must agree that if something like that information would leak out about certain teacher, this will be a huge like red flag to be cautious around him. At least cautious. At least. So that's your opinion. I can respect that. And what.
Why are you talking about respect?
What?
I'm just curious why you're talking about respect. Gotta tell you, man, I felt pretty disrespected by your video, not because of what you said, but you're right. I am an easy shit talk YouTuber, but even I will take 5 seconds if I'm going to do a whataboutism. If I'm going to say, why did this guy talk about this but not that? I'm going to take 2 seconds to fucking search to see if he actually did talk about it first. That was fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, probably.
Do you feel embarrassed?
Not really. Not really.
Can you feel embarrassed? Do you feel shame? Do you ever feel shame? I'm just curious because earlier you said you're sort of like a messed up manga enjoyer. You said something about being messed up.
Well, I might have exaggerated a little bit.
Okay, let's get to the video itself, because obviously, this particular thing was about Harmful Opinions' takes on Nuxtaku. I guess as you made the claims in the video, Harmful, what was your perspective on what he said about the Nuxtaku stuff? It's a joke and so on. How would you respond to that?
Well, it was very strange because I got to be honest, a lot of it didn't make sense to me. You brought up, oh, he's joking about something, and then your example was VTubers showing their feet, and I didn't get the relevance of that. You asked, oh, why did I bring up that Rule 34 Gura Gar thing, right? You were saying, what relevance does that have? Why I brought that up? Do you genuinely not know why I showed that Gura Rule 34 thing?
Okay, but you are at this point drawing conclusions, and conclusions are conclusions.
What the fuck are you talking about? What conclusion?
Well, the Gura has nothing to do with Nuxtaku.
Did you actually watch my video?
Yeah.
Did you not understand that picture, that Gargura Rule 34, tagged with, forced oral sex, lolly, whatever, he used that in a thumbnail?
And what's wrong about it? It's him being controversial.
You're saying what's wrong about it now, but you were saying there was no relevance of it. You're saying it had no connection to him.
Well, what is the connection in your opinion?
He used it in a thumbnail.
And that's only connection?
What other would there be? Do you think I was saying he fucking drew it?
No. I had nothing of that sort in mind. But, you draw a parallels to a guy who is a certified troll and likes to screw with people. Nuxtaku is just like that. He likes to brew a shitstorm in order to not only get views but also have fun with.
Okay, yeah, that's fun. What do you think about lowly hentai, like Rule 34, being used to draw people in on a mixed age platform, on a general audience platform? What do you think that could lead to,
well,
especially if such behavior is engaged in repeatedly?
Okay.
Especially so. There's the Golgura thing, but there's also examples where you use thumbnails where it's like cropped hentai and cropped sexualized images of characters that will be popular with children, and it's on YouTube, and you can see in the comment sections that there are the people who are into it for the sex side, and kids who were drawn in by seeing it was a character from a children's IP talking together. That's kind of weird scenario, isn't it?
Well, to put it frankly, I don't give a fuck.
About what? Kids and people who are into porn and talking about porn hanging out together in what's effectively a chat room or a forum, the comment section.
Well, as long as they don't break a law, what are you gonna do about it?
You don't have any personal feelings about that.
I can be disgusted, I can be repulsed, but would that change anything?
Not necessarily, but
Exactly.
what's wrong with having an opinion on it?
Well,
Because, I mean, one way it could change something, right, is if somehow a person's behavior was modified as a result of the commentary on it, right? What if it stopped occurring? Or what if, for example, it inspired the person, whether through personal realization and thought or through some other sort of pressure? What if they went back and changed some things and didn't do it going forward?
well, that's a lot of maybes. That's a lot of maybes, and all comes down to human, like I said before, human specimen. So let's say that
Like, brother, you're talking, what is it going to change? What's going to happen, right? But then you talked about me. What kind of fucking influence do you think you're going to have on me?
Well, none, of course.
And yet you did it.
Well, purely.
So you do understand,
maybe
right?
out of spite, because you get me angry, and that's all. So
I get you angry,
Yeah.
but it seems like anything related to people enjoying these sort of weirdo cartoons, you're saying you don't really feel anything about that.
No, so what?
I just find it interesting where your values lie.
Well, I'm an atheist and a nihilist by heart.
A nihilist.
But
Yeah.
wait, sorry, that nihilism only goes so far because you've made videos criticising harmful opinions. So you do care to that degree. That feels like a bit of a cop-out, no?
Yeah, maybe. Of course, I'm just only human. I can, let's say that. How to describe it? I try to be optimistic nihilist. By which I mean that I know that in the end nothing what I do or what everybody is doing will mean nothing, because soon I will be dead. But I try to, let's say, enjoy my limited time on Earth, and that's it. That's my view on this matter. I don't like, let's say, speaking about God, because God took away my parents at the very young age, and frankly, I just live from day to day in the gray reality, and that's all.
And like cartoons with little kids getting railed is a beam of sunshine in that darkness.
Not really.
To be fair, I think he mentioned enjoying the silhouettes of these lollies. I don't know if he goes hardcore with it, but I can't really speak to that.
Fair
Okay.
enough. Fair.
Okay. Anyway, look, I mean, I'm going to be going shortly. Is there anything else to hash out here? Is there any other disagreements?
That was your chance to shoot.
Well, I don't have any ammo at my pocket, so I will let you end without my ending speech, let's say. But to put it, what I might add, it was nice talking to you about this in this debate, let's say.
Yeah, it's been very refreshing how respectful it's all been. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I like to brew a shitstorm from time to time, but most of the time I try to be, not in full on rage, let's say.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's good.
I'm gonna be real, man. You were putting me to sleep, but thanks for letting me say hi.
Okay.
Okay, maybe in the future I won't be doing that shitty videos on your harmful opinions, because it was bad research.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, well, there we go. We've got that concession at least. Okay. Thank you for coming on, both of you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
See ya.
Catch you later. Bye-bye.